Thank you for joining us at Books as Bad as Twilight podcast. This podcast will discuss books that may or may not be as bad as the popular series Twilight. As can be expected, we will discuss the books in detail, so spoiler alert.
We highly suggest you read the book beforehand or read along with us. You can use the link in our show notes to purchase the current book we're reading. Also in our show notes are links to the Books as Bad as Twilight website and all of our social media pages. Quick shout out to our image designer, Katie Hartung. Her website is listed in our show notes at khartgraphics.com. KHART graphics.com.
Music at the beginning of the show provided by Gabe Miller Music. You can find him on YouTube, SoundCloud, and his website, GabeMillerMusic.com.
Thank God for coffee and water, though.
I'm going to put my water over here, and then I'm going to get my coffee, a Frappuccino.
And then I remembered not to include whipped cream. I was like, okay. Whew.
I mean, it wouldn't affect me that much, but I like to stay away from it.
Yeah. And I didn't know what size you wanted, so I was like, I'll just get her the big one.
It's okay. I like the big one.
I figured.
Like, I'll get smaller just because I love the big one so much.
Because you love the big one so much?
It tastes so good. I'm always sad. Like, when I get the small one, which I usually do, it always feels like it's gone too quickly.
Yeah.
But I know, like, it's not good for me, so I usually don't get it.
Ooh, whoops.
But I love it. No, don't say whoops.
Oh, okay.
That was a present.
I had, when I went to Wawa's, I was like, I am so hungry.
Yeah.
And I needed greasy food. So they have these new flatbread paninis.
Yes.
So I got the pepperoni one. And I was like, oh.
Was it good?
Yeah, the garlic aioli is
I was
going to
get it, but then I ended up getting, like, a custom, like, Italian one. But, okay, so you say the garlic aioli is really good.
I like it, yeah. It's the same garlic aioli that they have on their, like, in their cold stuff. Like, in the cold sandwiches in the packet.
Okay. Oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
It's just warm.
Gotcha. You know, I think I might have told you, but when you were here, like, a few weeks ago and you brought the pepperoni, since we had the leftovers, I ended up the next day making a pepperoni sandwich.
Nice.
I never knew I needed that in my life.
You never had a pepperoni sandwich?
Never. And I told my mom, and she was, like, grossed out when I told her. I'm like, Mom, no.
Listen.
It's amazing.
Mom. Oh, my God. I can't believe you never had that.
Never.
That's, like, usually in, like, Italian sandwiches and stuff. They, like,
I mean,
I've had pepperoni.
Well, I've had it in sandwiches, just not by itself. I just had a pepperoni sandwich.
Yeah.
Nothing on it, just pepperoni.
Yep.
And it was fantastic. It was
good.
Whew.
It opened your world.
It really. Oh, it's been a whole new world.
A new world.
I was thinking we should, like, one day release just, like, a musical episode. I'm kidding, but
if I could sing 90s grunge, sure.
Ooh. What kind of 90s grunge would you sing?
Oh, I don't know. Everything and everything.
Okay.
I love grunge music. I also love 80s alt pop. Okay. So, like, the Eurythmics.
Oh, me too. Yeah.
My God. She terrified me to, like, when I was a child. Sweet Dreams.
Yeah, Sweet Dreams.
With the cow walking and the boardroom and in her suit. Terrified me. I had nightmares about her.
Really?
I revisited the Eurythmics, I'm going to say 8 years ago. And I was, like, obsessed. I bought records again, like vinyl records, and, like, I was listening to it constantly on Spotify. And
nice. I mean,
excuse me.
So when you said Sweet Dreams, I thought you were talking about something else. I was thinking of Sweet Dreams of Me. Oh, is that it? Oh, so I am thinking of the right thing.
Yeah, that's the Eurythmics.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Made of things.
Yeah, that's. I've never seen the music video.
To disagree. I travel the world and the 7 seas. Everybody's looking for something. Some of them want to use you.
I love how nobody can see us. We're just dancing.
Hey, guys.
Hey. Listen to our beautiful voices.
Danielle's NPR voice and my... I don't even know how to describe my voice.
The reason I went silent is not because of that. It's because I was thinking, what can I say, like, to be really NPR-ish right now? And then you're like, my voice is, then it's just dead silent.
I'm trying to think. What do they say on NPR?
I know Interfaith Voices I listen to, which is not NPR, but it's kind of NPR. They go, hello and welcome to Interfaith Voices. I'm Irene Keetler. I think that's her name.
I think that's her name. Yeah. I listen to a lot of on NPR, Wait, Don't Tell Me.
Yeah.
And Tell Me Something I Don't Know.
I've never listened to that one.
Oh, my God.
I haven't listened to Wait, Don't Tell Me in years.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I worked with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was like 2 years ago.
I know. It's been a while. I know.
2 years ago. It's been longer than that.
I know. It's been...
No.
Well, no, actually. It's almost 2 years.
Wow.
Right? Yeah. Almost 2 years. I know. It's sad. It doesn't feel like it's been that long.
No, it hasn't. Oh,
So
well.
sad.
So sad.
So
Goodbye.
sad. All right.
So who are we?
Well, who are we?
Yeah.
I don't know.
We didn't introduce ourselves. That's basically what I was getting at.
Hey.
I'm Brittany.
I'm Danielle.
And this is Books as Bad as Twilight podcast.
Woohoo, yeah.
Woohoo.
Welcome, everyone, to our second to last episode.
Yeah.
Oh, isn't this
We're
crazy?
finally finished.
We're finished this book, and thank the Lord, because it has been a journey.
Long.
It has been very long.
We've been talking about this book for, 2 months now?
It has been 2 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, so to all the listeners, thank you for going on this journey with us.
Mm-hmm.
We've had a raving time. And we just want to say that we appreciate you. We acknowledge you for sitting with us, for dealing with this book.
Hey, we see you.
Yeah.
We see you. You're beautiful.
Beautiful.
You're smart.
Mwah.
You don't know what I'm referencing.
No, I'm not. I mean, no, I don't. Wait, do I? Maybe I do.
DJ Khaled?
Nope,
I think that's
never
his
mind.
name is.
Nope, I do not know.
I don't even know what I'm referencing, apparently.
Well,
DJ
DJ Khaled. I mean,
Khaled.
Khaled. Oh, wait.
Khaled.
Oh, never mind. I was
You're
getting him
smart.
Okay.
You're beautiful.
Welcome again to Books as Bad as Twilight. We are finishing the book Lost in a Book by Jennifer Donnelly.
Woohoo!
Which we're very happy about. And to be clear, I just want to reiterate this to our listeners, that when we do this show, this is supposed to be fun. Yes, we're being critical, we're being funny, but please don't think that we're making fun of the author.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, who said something?
No, nobody said anything. It's just that sometimes I feel that, like, people might think that we're trying to throw shade at the author. Like, both of us want to be published authors someday. You know, What are you making the face?
I'll never get that
You
far.
will. You will, my friend. We're in this together, right?
All in this together.
Once we know that we are, we're all stars, and we see that. Those are.
I'm so
lyrics.
glad that you remember the words, because I don't.
Oh, there's a whole video essay on YouTube about why High School Musical 2 is the best out of the three, and it's like this really satirical, but yet also really on point video essay, and it's amazing. It's like 20 minutes long, but it's so good.
Nice.
I'm probably gonna link it. So anyway, so once again, we're not throwing shade at Jennifer Donnelly, right? It's just that we're throwing shade at the book. We're doing the death of the author thing, right?
What does that mean?
That's like a kind of, I don't know what you would call it, like a way of reading books. So sometimes when people read books, they will read like Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. They'll read it and they'll say, talk about it in the context of Jane Austen's life and why she put certain things in her book.
Oh,
or
okay.
even J.K. Rowling with Harry Potter, why she put certain things in her book, and even saying things that she said outside her book, like Dumbledore's gay.
Yeah.
Vice versa. But with Death of the Author, you don't do that. You just read the book.
Is my ass that big that I'm so much taller than you sitting down?
I slouch, so that's probably why.
Yeah, but look at our shoulders. I'm like 2 inches taller than you.
Do you have a higher chair? Maybe you do.
Oh, no. I think my ass is just huge, and it's giving me extra height. I was listening to everything that you said, though. I'm just looking at you. I'm like...
I love how we went from, like, Death of the Author to, like, my ass height.
Because you and I are relatively the same height.
I was going to say, yeah.
But I feel like I'm monstrous.
I mean, I definitely I slouch. I sit like this. Hello. I slouch because I have scoliosis. That's why.
Oh, yeah. But, like, still. Yeah, I feel like
I'm just a tiny person. Like, I mean, maybe a rounder person, but I'm tiny.
Oh, stop. You might have a shorter torso and longer legs.
That's true. That's true.
I might have a longer torso and shorter legs.
That's true. Maybe.
Which is why we match. Anyways, I'm so sorry about that.
Anyway, Brittany. Death of the author. So, yes. So basically, what Death of the Author is that you read a book without author intent in mind, without, you know, what's going on behind the scenes when they're writing the book. It's just you're judging the book for the book. And that's it. It doesn't matter who wrote it. It's just you're reading a book.
Mm-hmm. I would say the same thing if Stephen King wrote this book.
Right. Yeah, we want to judge it fairly. We're not judging it because we're not, like, making judgments on Jennifer Donnelly. I actually did get I think I told you this, I got one of her books via paperback swap.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. You did say this.
So I don't know when I'll get to reading it because my reading schedule, look, I have a schedule.
You're so cute.
Thank you, because usually people say you're crazy. So.
Well, this is what you want to do for your life, so... It makes sense.
Read books all the time. If I could be paid to read books, look, I would. I would do it all the time because there are so many books out there.
Are there?
Yes. I know. That's crazy, right, Brittany? I know you didn't know this. Ladies and gentlemen. Boys and girls. Today, on this episode of Books as Bad as Twilight...
I'm just gonna give you eyes this entire time.
I'm just gonna look down at the table. But then you won't. I'll just look this way.
Do I make you around?
It's like, oh okay. Wow, I'm blushing. Today. Oh wait, hold on. Whoa. Today on Books as Bad as Twilight. Wait.
Ladies, gentlemen, people of all shapes and sizes, did you know that you could enter into winning a special, secret, uber exciting prize?
Yes, indeed. You can win a surprise book from us at Books as Bad as Twilight.
Tell them how, Danielle.
I will tell them how. So, let me just think for a second. All you need to do, listeners, is review us, preferably with 5 stars, on iTunes. After you review us, take a screenshot of your review. Send it to us via email or Facebook or Twitter.
Yeah.
And that way, we will be able to put your name into the giveaway to win a book.
It's very special and very secretive, and you're not going to know what it is until it comes to your door.
And just a reminder that this is very nice, Brittany. Just a reminder that this is for U.S. residents only. Just a thing. But honestly, who listens to us outside of the U.S.? If you do, please let us know. We'd love to hear from you.
That'd be so exciting.
It would be exciting. Sorry. My headphones do a weird noise, and so I always think that you can hear it too.
Hurt my throat so much. Because I try to hold it back, and it just burst forward.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh. So once again, to enter our giveaway, please leave us a 5-star review on iTunes. And then send it to us via email, Facebook, or Twitter. Your name will be entered to win a surprise book. And who doesn't want to get a surprise book in the mail, honestly?
I mean, if you're listening to this, you love books, so might as well reward yourself to listening to us.
Totally.
And we'll do this every season.
We will. Oh, totally. That totally. All right.
Thanks.
Thank you. Back to the show.
Bye.
So today we're going to be discussing chapter 65 till the end of this book. So that's 65, 66, 67, and then the epilogue. So it's going to be a fun time. I'm going to take a drink of water real quick. What?
I just take a drink of water. Because I imagine you would have cut it anyway.
I feel like this is just like early morning like laughter. Like we're just like so.
We got in on this episode real quick. versus normally we sit and we chat for like an hour and a half.
That's true.
We're like, poof.
Yeah, we gotta get moving. You know, this is important, right?
It's important because we're at the end, and I want to be done with this book.
That was beautiful.
Thank you.
That was beautiful. Sorry, I just shook the table. All right, so
what happened last chapter? Oh wait, do you want to do the whole like spoilers thing?
Oh yeah, we'll do spoilers. Spoilers for the whole book. We are finishing today. I mean, at this point,
we ruined the book for you.
Yeah, like I mean, like if you're listening now, if you care about this book and want to hear our commentary on it, go to the beginning. Don't listen now because we're going to spoil everything. And I think every book. I don't think that spoilers necessarily ruin a story, but they might ruin your experience of how, like, sometimes when I first read Game of Thrones and I was spoiled by watching the TV show, like, and knowing what was going to happen, it changed the way that I interpreted the text versus when I actually read it before watching the TV show. Damn. Oh my gosh. Like, I was floored with certain things that happened, and I'm so glad I experienced them first. That being said, if you're interested in reading this book, read it by yourself and then come to listen to our commentary, because don't let us ruin it, like, with spoilers and stuff. And then, of course, if you like the show, want to give us 5 stars, please. And thank you.
High School Musical is stuck in my head.
I can tell, because you're still, you can't see Brittany, but her head's going back and forth like, what's it called? Dance Like an Egyptian, you know?
Dance Like an Egyptian.
I can't really do it, but you know.
Oh, this thing?
Oh, yeah, you got it. Oh, yeah, see, I was going like this.
Hey! A lot of my, like, jokes are visuals, so none of this works.
Well, I'm thinking that one day, if we do like, a commentary track for a movie, we will have the camera on.
That means I'm gonna have to do my makeup and, like,
no, you
look
don't.
Okay.
Girl, you're beautiful the way you are. Like,
every single way. It's a music episode. It's like, every long-running TV show, they have a musical.
Oh, God. Yeah. Dude, I hate that.
I love it. It's so corny.
That's why I hate it. Like, I love it in certain things. Like, what was it?
Scrubs has a great one.
Yeah, I was going to say Scrubs. I've never seen it, but I've heard that's really good. And there was another one that was pretty recent, and I can't think of what it was. I don't know what it was, but
Supernatural has a good one.
Maybe that wasn't recent though, was it?
No.
Yeah, so I don't know what I'm thinking of, but so if they're good, like if they're like, I like when they get the corniness right, but usually the corniness is like uncomfortable for me, and I'm like, I like,
you have too much empathy.
I shrivel up in a ball. Like, my mom's like, oh my God, one of her phases again. Like,
funny.
Yeah, so if you like the show, give us 5 stars on iTunes. That really helps us out a lot. Lets us know what you think of the show, that you really like it.
And if you rate us, we'll give you a shout out.
Exactly. Right? We'll read your reviews.
We'll read your name.
Yes. And if we don't read it right away, just give us time. We do record these well in advance. So if you leave a review and it's a few weeks, just be patient, because like I said, we record them so far in advance that it might be.
Yeah. Like today is June 3rd.
Yeah.
You probably won't get this until
the end of June.
The end of June.
It'll be the end of June, which is crazy to think about. Because.
Sorry.
No, look, you do it, girl. Like, you do you.
You do you.
Yeah. Oh, God. Who was I talking to? Actually, Tanya. She said,
you do you, boo-boo?
Well, no. Chris apparently hates that phrase.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I was saying to her one time, you do you, and she was like, oh, Chris hates that. And I'm like, just silent.
Chris will do him.
Oh, yeah. She
you
said,
do you, Chris.
We're throwing shade. We're throwing shade.
Hi, Chris.
But we really like you, Chris. Hi.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. Oh, hope you like your birthday gift. Wink, wink. All right. So, and as always, if you want to find out how to listen to this episode, if you're listening on our website or on YouTube, you can listen to... Oh, yeah, that's right. Our episodes are on YouTube now. So that's... Well, not all of them, but by the time this is out, they will be. And that's really exciting. Yeah. I'm so happy about that. And so, yeah, you can listen on YouTube, but you can also listen on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, and, of course, our website.
And I listen to us on...
Podcast Addict.
Podcast Addict,
yes.
Yeah. So any podcast app that you have that uses the iTunes search engine, you'll find it on there, because we're also on Podbean. And I
wait, is it Podbean? Because Podbean's a host.
Is it?
Yeah. So I don't know if you're thinking of...
A friend of mine uses Podbean, and he said he found us right away.
Maybe they have... Okay, so maybe...
They're hosting, but they probably still use iTunes search engine.
I see what you're saying. Okay. Yeah. I didn't know that. So, cool. Yeah, Podbean is really reliable as well. So, that's good to hear.
So, hey, guys!
And also, another note, we are sponsored by Audible.
Oh.
Yes. So, if you want a 30-day trial, a free 30-day trial, thank you, and a free audiobook of your choice, head on over to audibletrial.com/BaBaT for your free 30-day trial, complete with a credit for a free audiobook download.
Woohoo!
All right,
let's get this shit going.
Now, you said... I'll read that other part later.
Yeah. Googly eyes.
So...
Wait. Oh, is that at the end when the beast turns...
Yes.
To quote Adam?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought it was
Adam.
Eric. I was like, why do they have...
no, it's not Eric.
Why do they have,
like,
Little Mermaid?
You thought it... Oh.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. Yes, so I know you said we should talk about what happened last episode, but I gotta be honest with you. I don't remember.
You don't remember?
What we talked about.
They were running. She was going through the maze, and she climbed up the hedge.
Well, and then she also... I remember now, Aaron wrapped the...
Yeah, wrapped the Countess up in her web and
got the
all
hair,
that type of stuff.
The hairband.
She got everything.
Yes.
She got her hair, she got the coin, and she got the handkerchief back.
Yes.
And so she ran through this maze and trying to go away from the Countess, and she's outrunning lions, and she finds the book in the maze, and she's like, ah, and so she falls down.
The heavens opened up.
They opened up, and the book is like encased in ice.
Well, that's
or
coming
something.
Up. Yeah.
So that's where we are.
Yes. So shit's getting real, right? Bella needs to get out of there. So we're on chapter 65 now.
I think I put a note for 65.
Okay.
Oh. My one chapter summary for this is the author doesn't know how space and time works.
Thank you. Yeah.
Because we open up the chapter and the Countess is, quote, 10 yards away, but getting closer with every step. Okay. So, do you know how far 10 yards is? It's 30 feet.
Right.
Do you know how long a stride is?
Yeah.
It's about 3 feet.
Right.
So she's only 30 steps away. Right. No, wait. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean...
10 steps away.
Yeah.
She's 10 steps away. So...
she's pretty close.
She's pretty damn close.
Books do this a lot. It's dumb.
Yeah.
Authors aren't good at math. We're only good at... Which I disagree with. I say that because it happens a lot. Like, if you read Harry Potter... You know, she says, "Oh, there are thousands of kids here," and I'm like, "There's only like 5 kids in the Gryffindor in this year, so I'm pretty sure there's not 1,000 kids." Yeah. But you know,
well, there's 4 houses, 7 years, 10 people to a year, so
right.
Approximately 10, because we only see 5 Gryffindors. We don't know if more got allocated to Slytherin, Hufflepuff, or Ravenclaw.
Yeah.
So let's say they admit 40 kids a year for 7 years, which is that's still not 1,000.
Yeah.
So
the hundreds. It just makes it seem much more full.
Oh well.
But
anyway, so she sees the Countess. She's like covered in webs and from Aaron. And she has both of her little stone lions, like, creeping up beside. And she's like, I'm sick and tired of these games. This is harder than I anticipated.
Well, you know, she treats Belle, and Belle acts as well, like a literal child. Like, the way she's like, oh, you're making this so much harder for me. And Belle's like... Or she says, give me those things back. And Belle doesn't say anything, and she kind of turns away. And in my head, I just envision, like, a small child being, like, afraid and turning away. It's just a weird way to establish it. I don't know.
No, I understand, but I do like this description about the Countess's laugh.
Yeah, the
Countess laughed. It sounded like wind whistling through a graveyard. First of all, that's a little. I like the depiction, but if you actually imagine it, it's like.
Oh Oh, goodness.
But it also sounds like a shutter banging. So, and also footsteps in the dark. So, yeah.
I don't even know how to do that yet.
How does dark sound?
You know, that actually is an interesting concept to think about. What does dark sound like? That's a good writing exercise.
Oh,
It's a great writing exercise.
hey guys, because we're on Tumblr, what you should do is write about what darkness sounds like, and we'll post it on our Tumblr if it's appropriate.
Yes. Look, we're far away from appropriate, okay?
Yes, but I also don't want it to
Oh, yeah.
racial and
None of that.
transphobic and all that type of stuff.
I see what you're saying.
That's what I
none
mean.
Of that. Yeah, okay, gotcha.
Oh yeah, use all the fucks that you want. I don't give any.
Yeah.
So nice.
I gave her a thumbs
Good
up.
plain words, Brittany. So, anyways,
yeah. I was just gonna say that when you're talking, so as you talked about the Countess being a lot closer than the book makes, like the book sort of seems like she's farther away, but actually, if you think about it, she's closer to Belle than we realize. Wouldn't take her long to get to her. Also, when talking about physics, Belle says that she can see through the ice, and it explicitly says that they can't see her because it's dark. She can see them because it's light. However, she can hear them. Yeah, it says that. Let me see if I can find it. Let's see. Where is it? Shoot, I just read it too. Hang on. I will find it.
oh, I was on the wrong chapter.
Were you?
I was on 66.
Oh, well, there you go.
So 65.
Oh, so it's probably in 60. No, wait, hold on.
And 66 doesn't have it.
Does it? No,
so
here
it must
is.
be in 65.
No, it's 65. It says Belle could see him and the others because the workroom was illuminated by candles. On this side of the book, however, there was only darkness. They could not see her. So I get that, but then she can actually hear them. She hears them carrying a conversation. So if we're thinking about physics of this, and the fact that Belle, when she would go into the book, it constantly said she could hear things coming from the book.
Yes.
I would imagine that they would be able to hear her.
Yeah.
They don't. But why isn't she pounding? Why isn't she doing something? Because it does say that she tries to get their, like she's crying, but she never explicitly tries to get their attention.
And she does that in the next chapter, not in this one.
Does she?
She
Tries to get their
pounds against. She
attention.
pounds against the.
Oh, does she? Okay.
The
Well,
ice
that's
or
good to
glass or whatever it may be.
know. Okay.
The encasing.
Right.
So I'm gonna retract my one sentence summary.
We'll save it for the next one.
This one is, Belle fucking hates Cogsworth, and there's no reason why.
Yeah.
Oh my god! Like, okay, so we're gonna rewind a bunch of this.
Yeah.
She finds the book, and she's like, almost there, keep going. She told herself. She finds the book. She thanks Lacanos and Erinay, and like, she presses her palm again. It's all glassed over, like a winter lake. That's cool.
That's a nice description.
And she sees everyone on the other side, and she's like, I miss them all. And Chip, who would Chip be without his Chip?
God.
His missing rim makes him sweeter. I don't understand that.
Yeah.
And then she says, and Cogsworth, his constant fretting and hand wringing could be so irritating at times, but it was his only it was only his blustery
blustery.
way of showing concern for those he loved. Why does she hate Cogsworth so fucking much?
Cogsworth is given a rough deal in this book.
I feel so bad. He's a fucking vet. Leave him alone.
Seriously, Cogsworth is...
And I have a lot to talk about in
Oh.
our final review of this goddamn book about Cogsworth and the timeline of everything that happens in this book.
I'm excited to hear that. That'll be
Do
interesting.
you want to see my notes for it?
I do. Oh, man.
I fucking took notes. Is it in
Yes! Oh, look at this. Look at this. Ah, yes!
So I did the timeline.
That's amazing.
So.
Oh, girl. That's going to be so much fun to talk about.
Ugh. Anyways.
Look at you.
I looked
so
up when the plagues were and when they hit France.
Oh,
and I
God.
looked up all those fucking battles he talks about.
Wow. Girl.
I went deep.
That's amazing.
And I did math.
You did your homework.
I did my homework.
Wow.
Just for that part. Nothing.
That's okay. That makes it worth it, Brittany. Look. All right. I'm excited to talk about that. And yeah, Cogsworth, he gets, and again, we'll talk about this in the final episode where we talk about the book as a whole, but he gets a bad deal in this book. In the new universe of Beauty and the Beast in general, he is dished a very rough deal. It's a shame. But yeah. And I think one thing that stood out to me about this is that when you actually think about it, Belle is about to die. Yeah. And the realization of that just made me, I couldn't help but compare it to the idea of...
Well, is she about to die? Because death's not allowed to take anyone before their time.
I don't think this book says that.
They do.
When?
It was at the very beginning.
I want to look this up.
I'm 98% sure it said she's not allowed to take it before her time.
But then why are they having this in general? If she took Belle, then wouldn't she be taking her to Death's Realm? Because she would be
She's
dead.
in Death's Realm, but she's still alive.
That's dumb, then.
The whole thing is dumb.
Okay, yeah. That's
that's why she's still she doesn't die every time she goes into Nevermore.
Right, I know, but I feel like if death is trapping her, then she's truly trapping her there and she maybe not killing her, but she will be dead.
Well,
I know what you're so you're saying that she said that she couldn't take her.
Yes.
If that's the case, I think that's dumb.
Yeah.
I just don't like that.
I'll have to look it up.
Yeah, we'll
do a corrections corner later.
No, I believe you. No, I do believe if you say that.
I'm 70% sure, 30%.
That's what we like to do on the show.
Yeah, we have no facts.
It's true. We don't. Neither does this book.
So
it's okay.
It's a cool idea though, that she is about to die. But I think if she were to kill Belle, she relinquishes the game. She loses the game automatically between her and Love, between Death and Love, because they're making wagers and she's already breaking the rules, trapping her in Nevermore, which is why Mouchard is ooh.
Right.
So I think if she killed her outright, she forfeits the game, and they don't like to lose. Death does not like to lose, so she's not going to kill Belle outright because she then loses the game. Because she's
would she lose?
Yeah,
I feel like she would. I don't know.
That's if you play baseball,
yeah,
and your team just literally, not figuratively, slaughters the other team, you fucking lose the game. You forfeit.
Fair enough.
Just because you kill your competition, doesn't
it's all
mean
it's all very murky water to me, I guess.
Yeah,
I don't. Yeah.
If it were the case, you should have just killed her instantly.
That's what I mean. That's very confusing to me because I see what you're saying.
Yeah, she's not allowed to take her before her time.
Yeah, that's just. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah.
And so when the time comes, she could trap her in Nevermore. And then when the time comes, slay her.
Yeah.
In more ways than one.
Oh, wink.
Wink.
Wink, wink.
Because I'm still very on this. It doesn't show at all in these last two chapters.
No, not at all.
Their budding relationship. But I think it's just because the Countess is scorned.
We believe. She's just sad that Belle did not accept her.
Exactly.
Yeah, so she's kind of well.
She's just jealous.
Yeah. She's kind of like the Beast. She wants to trap Belle there, so she'll fall in love with her.
Yeah.
Man.
Yep.
Yeah.
So anyways, in 65, we are seeing what's going on in the castle.
Yeah.
Kind of. We're not in the castle, but we're seeing what's going on in the castle via the book.
Oh, and I
Chip's
see
crying, and Mrs. Potts is don't cry, it's okay. I'm not crying for me. I'm crying for Belle because her heart hurts.
Oh. God, this kid's so prophetic. It makes me want to barf. I'm sorry.
And everyone else is crying because they realize that they're going to be part of the castle and objects forevermore.
And it literally says that. Maybe not in this chapter, but it does say it at one point. Yeah. The last chapter, I think. And it also says here, so you were right, she says she slapped the page again, trying one last time to make the Beast see her. So, okay.
Yeah. And desperately, she slapped her hands against the pages. As she did, she realized her skin was almost completely covered with words.
Yeah.
So she's gone
It's
against the glass.
That's hilarious. How you just did that.
I don't have a glass thing, so I'm just using my breasts. But
That's what we resort to on the show.
We don't have any sound effects.
Yeah. Yeah, so want to do anything else, or should we move on to 66?
I think well, the Countess says, "Save your breath, my dear. He can't see or hear you."
Yeah.
So that's probably her magic
Yeah.
muting him. So we questioned that before.
Yeah.
So that'd be my only comment. Also, so 66.
Yes.
This is where we talk about the time. Funny. Taco Bell.
That's a better one than the one I posted before, and I'm like, damn, I wish I found that one earlier.
That's pretty good. I like that. It's a picture of Belle in her yellow dress, and tacos are all over it.
Oh, jeez.
So this is when the author is not very good at space and time, because Belle turns and she sees the Countess. She's 10 yards away, so 30 feet away. She's slapping the book, and the Countess is walking. So either the Countess is taking itty-bitty baby steps, like tick, 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 or like very slow, like a bridal march, like step, pause, step.
But I could see the death in this book doing that.
Step.
Being like dramatic, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's stupid, but yeah, you know.
Especially because the lions are right next to her.
Right.
Because they would also have to match her speed, and they're just like clump, clump. Clump, clump.
Try to speed it up. Roar. All right. So this is the chapter where I think it's Lucanos who says to her, "Belle, use your heart to get through."
Yeah.
Which, you know.
She's like, what do you mean,
like,
my heart?
And I agree with you, Belle. Like, Lucanos, it's a necklace.
Yeah,
use your necklace.
That's what I would say too.
Yeah, like it's just so obvious what it's going for. Use your heart, Belle. Like, and I know I'm being a little nitpicky, but it's just sad that Belle couldn't have thought of that herself, that she just has no agency in this book. Everything has to be told to her.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying all the time. There were some glimpses of her doing things on her own, but we're told that she's very smart, and she rarely does anything for herself that exemplifies her being smart or thinking for herself. And I understand in a situation like this, you'd be terrified, but that's why Belle is the princess, or I won't even say princess, just the character that she is, that when she gave up her life for her father, she was in a situation that was scary. Yeah. And she did the thing that was scary, the thing that was difficult. Mm-hmm. So
she can do it again.
Yeah, she could. And I think it takes something away when you have Lucanos doing all the work.
Yeah.
Lucanos.
Fucking beetle.
Yeah, we don't like, we know Lucanos obviously from the book, but we don't know Lucanos. Like, we know Belle. Mm-hmm. And it'd be nice to see Belle do it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's my little nitpick.
Well, my nitpick, again, is the space. 30 feet away. Lucanos is saying all this, like, use your heart, use your heart. What do you mean? Heart. Not heart. I can't stand the way I speak.
It's all good. Me too.
So, use your heart. This transaction's going on. The Countess is still walking towards her. And it takes, 10 seconds?
Yeah.
To walk 30 feet?
Yeah.
You know, it's not far. And she looks down at the heart that Beast gave her, and it's ablaze, that she didn't notice it before.
Right.
Which is weird, because if it's ablaze, then it's shooting off 1,000 points of light. Yeah. But now that they're out of the shadowy maze, the moonbeams hit it just right, and she realizes it's a diamond. It's not crystal or glass, a diamond.
Yeah. And she breaks through. She cuts through the ice and glass, which was apparently that easy. Like, she got through pretty quickly.
Yeah. Like, do you know how hard it is, like, to cut glass?
I was going to say, that would take forever. Like, she is a dead woman.
Like, if she sliced it, and then it just exploded. It didn't even say that. She just sliced it.
Yeah, and
it dissolved. That would be cool if, she sliced it and the whole ice, melted or dissolved.
Yeah, that would be, or
that would make sense. But no, I imagine she's hacking at it,
right,
with her diamond heart, and the Countess still isn't close enough to get her.
I imagine Belle, like, if this was a comedy routine, she'd be, like, crafting, like, these ice sculptures with it, and, like, the Countess is still not there to get her. And she's like, oh, isn't it pretty? All right, see ya, peace out.
Using the heart like a blade, she drew it down the length of Nevermore's page and opened a long, rippling gash. So I guess...
If it was a different material, I could see that, but, like, you can't push ice.
How quick? Oh, it's glass, not ice.
Yeah, but you can't push glass, though, either.
Oh, that's true. And especially if it's encased.
Yeah.
So if it's, like, rippling, like, how fast is it rippling?
Right, like, yeah.
Like, it had to be really quick. And then she turns, like, she hears a shriek, and the Countess is now running and lunging. She turns to say goodbye to everyone.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
And they're like, Belle, fucking go.
Right, it's like, yeah, once again, like, they have to tell her to go. She's like, thank you, bitch, get out of here, go.
Yeah.
Like,
only a few yards behind her. The Countess is only a few... That's 4 feet.
Yeah.
4 to 6 feet. The length of, like, the height of an average man. Like...
Right?
An average man could just literally just fall forward and catch her.
Right. And it's freaking Death. Like, I'm pretty sure Death can do whatever the hell she wants. So
I'm so irritated with the space in this.
No, I agree with you. I completely agree with you. It's just bad pacing. Mm-hmm. It's bad pacing in the sense not only for the book, because we only have 1 chapter left and then the epilogue.
Yeah.
But not only, and I guess just the fact that, like you said, it's saying one thing, but if you actually read it, it means something completely different.
Yeah.
Like,
the length of this room.
Yeah, exactly.
Is 30 feet.
Yeah, she's not far from her. She could easily get to her.
Mm-hmm.
And this book makes it seem like so much is happening at one time. Yeah. It doesn't give you room to breathe. No. That's what I'll say. Yeah. Which I guess this whole book kind of does. There's not much breathing room in this book. Get it? Get it? Because I just took a deep breath.
I do get it now. Yeah, thank you.
Yes, thank you.
So she goes through the book.
Yes, so she goes through the book, and now we move on to chapter 67. Wow, not 37, 67.
How? I don't get it. Okay, so chapter 67, my summary is, enough with the fucking toasted cheese sandwiches.
Yeah, yes.
God damn it. This is what, the 5th appearance of it? I am so tired of these grilled cheeses.
Toasted cheese is the bomb, Brittany.
Whatever. It is. I love grilled cheese. But...
Toasted cheese.
Come on. I love toasted cheese, but not enough to have it every fucking day of my life. So, she busts through the door, through the book, and stars were the first thing she saw. Where is she seeing stars?
I guess because maybe it's like saying just the impact.
I guess.
Is that what it is?
They exploded like fireworks behind her eyes. Then she saw feathers, the base of a teapot, golden feet, furry feet.
Oh, God.
Those are all periods, just to let you know.
Gross. No, maybe she saw the stars because, like
when you get knocked.
Well, I was going to say that, but also, like, when you're in fantasy, a trope that's used, which is a good trope, is, like, when you transition from one world to another, something will happen. Maybe that's, like, the transition effect. I don't like it. I think it's stupid, but, like, she goes through so quickly that it's just the impact of going from one realm to another.
I agree.
I don't think it's a good excuse.
And I also feel that the second full paragraph should be the top of the page.
Where are you looking?
Belle had launched herself back through Nevermore with such force she lost her footing and tumbled headfirst into the library.
Yeah.
The stars were the first thing she saw.
Yeah.
Not the first thing she saw. Found all the feet. I'm here, she thought. I'm home. Belle had launched herself through, like, it just...
Yeah. No, I agree with you. That's
the timing's...
Yeah.
Incorrect.
That's insightful, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. Because that would make a lot more sense, actually.
It doesn't follow the series of events.
Right. Yeah.
The way that it happened.
Yeah, very insightful. I like that.
Thank you.
That would be a lot better, actually. You should write this book.
I wouldn't write this book.
Fair enough. So... everybody's, very happy to see Belle again, and the Beast's kind of standing in the corner, all like, I mean, to be fair,
he helps her up.
Yeah, well, he does help her up, but then when she's looking for him, she sees him in the corner. So he must have in that time moved
He
away.
ran away again.
Yeah, he ran away. At first when I was rereading this, I'm like, don't tell me he left the room. Like, no, he's still there. Just, I guess he's growing. He didn't leave.
How quick did he move, though? Because he helped her up. She turned back, said, close it, close it. They closed it, and he's already in the corner.
I know. I thought of that, too, when I read this. I'm like, wait, what? Because I, at first, like I said, I thought he left. And I was like, wait, what just happened? No, he's in the corner, and I think this whole book, I think it's fair to say that we have been on the Beast side of things. Because Belle
I'm still on the Beast side.
Me too. Me too. Belle is a whiny baby in this book. And I think that if we're really looking at this book, I think if there's any character that is grown, it's the Beast. Especially because he didn't run away this time.
And it's funny that how much he's grown, and we saw none of it.
We didn't. And
none of it.
And it's a shame because, like, that is typically how... Oh, yeah.
That's really funny.
I know. Just go to Google and search Beauty and the Beast memes. Like, you'll find a plethora of enjoyment. I promise you.
This is a tweet that says, my favorite character in Beauty and the Beast is a dresser waiting to fuck up a villager with a baseball bat. That's pretty good.
It is. Yeah, I love it. But yeah, if you actually look at the original movie... what's interesting about it and what's kind of brilliant is that while Belle is our main character, there's a difference between a protagonist and a main character, I should say. Belle's our main character because we're in her perspective, but the Beast is the protagonist. He is the one who grows. Like, Belle does not grow. Yeah. That's not a bad thing, but Belle has no character development. Yeah. And that could be critiqued a little bit because she is the character that we're following when something to happen to her. If anything happens to her, she learns to love the Beast, but that's not really character development. That's just something that happens to her, where the Beast is the one that actually learns to love and is able to grow.
But no, I agree with that, especially because... all these traumatic things are happening. She should have at least a little bit of development, you know? And we don't know how long this book takes place. From the events that are happening from Chip's birthday, the ice skating, Chip's birthday, finding Nevermore, honest to God, I think it's only a week or two has passed. Yeah. So in that week or two, we've seen Beast... develop a lot, from not raging anymore and not running out of the room and every time they have a conversation, and Belle hasn't developed at all.
I think that's the problem. We'll get into this obviously more when we talk about the book as a whole, but I think that's the problem with approaching Beauty and the Beast, because the way the original movie's timeline works for that movie, and what ends up happening is that when you try to tackle character development within that, you're making like this... You're making it a little watered down. It doesn't really work that well. And we'll get into that, but it's like you said, the timeline's weird. The fact that he's acting like such a baby after he saved her life, like he at that point should have grown a little bit. But he's still acting like a baby, so it's like, well, then where was that growth? But we would know that because this book's supposed to be separate. You should be able to read this book without knowing that, but, you know.
Agreed.
So it's just a little strange. But he does have, for what this book does, for what it is, he probably is the best growth. Actually, real quick.
He's holding her.
I know, it's nice, yeah.
And he goes to, like, brush tears from her face.
It's really nice.
And she's like, ow.
Yeah, because it hurts. Yeah.
Because it hurts. And
but it is a nice parallel because she wipes his eyes.
I was thinking, and he was like, ow, that hurts.
Yeah.
So, my ears are extra sensitive. Well,
yes.
Shut up. You're fine. So, who... Lemire gives the handkerchief and wipes their face.
And then they walk out of the room.
Yes, and I have that highlighted because I wanted to talk to you about this. And maybe you can explain it better. I feel like the perspectives of this book are weird because it's third person, obviously, but we went third person focusing on Belle. We should not at all hear what the servants are saying outside of that room, right?
Right.
Okay, because I'm sitting there. I highlighted this whole thing. Yeah. They're having a whole conversation that Belle and the Beast are not privy to. And it adds nothing to the story.
I agree. It's it's patronizing, actually.
Yeah.
The way they say, why did he do that? He's so clunky. You know what?
Really?
Yeah, it's like, really, like, he just did something very gentle. Even if it hurt her a little, like, just, they're making fun of him, obviously not to his face, but something that he did that was very genuine.
Yeah.
They should be happy about that. Like, it's very weird that they're saying these things.
Oh, but at least he didn't lick her face. That's something.
And again, when has
whispered.
when has he ever exemplified that he would lick her face?
Yeah.
Like, but this
They're
book,
treating him more of a beast than he actually is.
right? And the thing is, like, if this book, because there is this idea where, like, especially in the original movie, where like the beast is more of a beast because he's been a beast for so long.
Mm-hmm.
But this book does not touch on that aspect. It doesn't need to, but yet it feels the need to comment on it for no reason when it is not relevant.
Yeah.
So it's just weird. And why would he lick her face anyway? Like, he's human enough that he wouldn't lick her face. Like, he's not a dog. They
don't take on characteristics of the object in which they are.
Right, yeah.
So why would he take on the characteristics of a beast?
Right.
Because he's not.
Right, exactly.
So.
Especially because of where he is at this point in his character development. It just wouldn't make sense.
No.
And yeah. No, I actually wrote my notes the same thing. I wrote Mrs. Potts critiques Beast for how he wiped Belle's face. What? It was a genuinely sweet moment.
Yeah.
Like,
they're all dicks, especially because in the first couple chapters, like, oh, the Beast is actually a really nice guy. Like, his father was the true beast of the castle. And then you're making fun of him. Like,
right.
Fucking chill. Like, he's...
The whole...
I don't know how old he is. I'm going to say he's a child, but he's not.
He's not.
He's about 20.
He's supposed to be... Yeah.
About 20.
Yeah. And I think it's... I mean... Actually, I won't even say it, because what I was about to say was more critique of, like, the whole movie and the whole... I'll just say that the lore of this book... Like, I think this book... Maybe... I'll see what you think when I say this, but when Game of Thrones came out, that was a big deal just because people were like, oh, wow, there's never been fantasy this dark, which, like, not true. But still, like, fantasy... There's been tons of fantasy that has said fuck in it, and has just... But at the same time, like, for me, like, that was my introduction to that.
Yeah.
But I think... The difference between something like Game of Thrones and the trend that has come from Game of Thrones is that Game of Thrones is very dark. And a lot of people like that. So they just automatically think that a darker story will make it more complex. And that's not true.
No.
And I think that if you actually looked at how Game of Thrones and other books who do dark things wrote and, you know, portrayed their characters, then you could make something that's really good. And I think this book is trying to make a more dark and complex world and give us this lore to beating the Beast that just doesn't work.
No, and I agree with you, because it is... Beauty and the Beast is dark in itself.
Yeah.
Like, you don't need death to be personified in it.
Yeah, I agree.
So.
Yeah. It's dark. It's dark in the sense that, like, people were literally turned into objects. Like, their life was stolen from them.
I'm trying to think. It's, like, dark... As in, if you just turned off the lights in your bedroom at night.
Right, it's not...
It's dark, but there's no substance to it.
Yeah, that's a good way to say
There's
it.
a difference between a dark bedroom and a dark cave.
Very true. It's like an illusion.
Ooh.
We're on to something. We're on to something. Yeah, so it's just... It's following a trend, and it's not doing a very good job at it.
Yeah.
So we see Belle and the Beast talking, and she throws Nevermore out the window.
And the wind catches it, tearing loose the pages as they fluttered into the night.
Look, why didn't they just burn the book?
Yeah.
Whatever. I mean, dramatic effect.
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
But,
I was going to point out something in that. Oh, they talk about the cheese. The
yes,
toasted
they do.
cheeses another time in this chapter, and I think it's funny.
It's, like, mentioned, like, 3 times.
Yeah. Everyone left to get the toasted cheese, and Beast is like, do you want to eat them in the drawing room, or do you not want toasted cheeses at all? And
he's
she goes,
like...
I know, he's really sweet. And she's like, you have no idea how much I want them.
Like, she's ravenous.
I can't tell you how badly I want them, Belle replied. But there's something I need to do first. And then she throws the thing out the window.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah. And
you were saying about how the Beast tries to talk to Belle about her experience.
Yeah.
Go on.
And I kind of wrote down, like, how he basically, like, she says maybe one day she can tell him, but he might not believe her.
Mm-hmm.
And then they talk about friendship, and she thinks about her friends and Nevermore and how they weren't true friends.
They were perfect friends.
Oh yeah, perfect friends.
They were perfect friends, but look where that got her. Yeah. At least Beast wasn't perfect, but at least he was real. I hate this whole exchange.
Yeah,
because she is blaming everything on Beast for being, like, the worst friend. And she's not much of a friend to Beast.
No.
And, like, he's apologizing for how he's acting. And she's like, it's okay, you were wrong. And, like, bitch,
right.
you just ran away.
Right.
You start arguments with him all the time.
Well, yes.
You're so fucking pushy.
Yeah.
Like, my God. I'm cursing a lot this episode. I really apologize.
That's fine.
But, like, oh, you're not perfect. But we could work on this together.
Yeah, well, yeah, because she even says to him, like, let me see if I can find it. Where she says, like, when we talk, like, it doesn't always go well.
Yeah.
Is that it? That you
It's
highlighted?
right above it. Yeah.
Okay, I'm not sure you believe I just might have... Oh, what's wrong? It doesn't always go so well when you and I try to talk, does it? No, it doesn't go well because you always degrade him and basically try to get stuff out of him that you are not at liberty to ask him. It's just pushy, it's bratty, it's weird, and it's it's a forced moral, and again, we'll talk about this next episode, but it's just very strained and uncomfortable, and pushing this moral that I don't think is necessarily a good moral for children. Mm-hmm. Like, because a friend isn't good just because they're not perfect. Like...
Yeah.
The Beast is not a good friend because he's imperfect. Everybody is imperfect. Like, she was under false pretenses.
Yeah.
It's
a weird way to present the idea.
Yeah, like, I could see if you were telling kids, like, okay, like, if you were kidnapped or something, and this person's giving you everything you want to try to keep you quiet because they kidnapped you.
What?
No.
I'm trying to follow your train of thought, but I'm also thinking other things.
No. I guess what I mean by that is, like, when I say perfect friend, if a child is in a situation where somebody is being, like, perfect to them and giving them everything they want,
they still kidnap them, so yeah, they're not perfect.
Yeah, like, kind of like saying, like, be on your guard, like, to think, but even that, like, is just so weak. Like, I can feel it crumbling beneath me. Like, that's just
I see what you're trying to say, yeah.
Yeah, because I don't even know how I know what I'm trying to say, but how to say it is weird.
Yeah.
Like, I could see this moral of teaching kids to not trust that looks...
If it's too good to be true, it's probably not true.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think that's the type of moral she's trying to get through with that passage?
No.
But no?
Well...
But it's just not going well.
Yeah, maybe that, yeah.
Okay.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I never got that until I started saying it right now, so that's why, but did you get that?
No.
Okay, so...
For me, it was just a weirard transaction altogether.
Okay.
Just reading it, I was like...
That's a good response. Yeah, my notes were just forced dialogue. And again, it
forced dialogue, yep.
Yeah, and it kind of made me think of, like... I bring it up a lot, but, like, the Harry Potter and the Harry Potter movie, the first movie.
Yeah.
That whole thing of very disconnected dialogue that is purely existing for the fact that the book wants to take us to a certain place, but it doesn't make sense why these characters
are speaking the way that they are.
Yeah. Like, you're a wizard, or, like, learned what? You're a wizard, Harry. Okay, well, answer my question. Learned what? Like, they were wizards. That, like, they learned magic. So it's just weird. And then I wrote literally same ending as Enchanted Christmas, meaning, like, oh, everything's happy again, and he loves... It's not the same ending, but it's just very similar. Like, everything's happy again. Let's just forget about it all. Lots of bad stuff went down, but it's not going to matter at all.
Yeah.
You know?
Can we keep trying, Belle? Will you give me another chance? Belle smiled, squeezing his hands back, and she decided she would.
Oh, that's why... that exchange, because in Enchanted Christmas, I've seen it so many times. I apologize, but I can recite it. He goes in and he's like, Belle, can you forgive me? And they look into each other's eyes, and she goes, of course. Merry Christmas.
Ugh.
I know it's gross. It's disgusting. I want to cry because I used to love that movie when I was a child, and I'm appalled.
Well, that's because you're an adult now.
Even when I was adult, like there's some good.
Oh, by the way, that was the last sentence of the book.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Now we just have the epilogue.
And she decided she would. I just wanted to like bring the fact. I didn't want to like cut off your
no,
train
you're
of
fine.
thought. I just wanted to bring up that was the end of the chapter.
Yeah, that's right.
That was the end, technical
end
of the book. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was stupid.
It was stupid. Like, and she decided she would. Like, it took all that for you to decide that. Oh yeah.
Don't you want to escape? I'm a fucking teapot. Where would I go? It's funny.
So now we're on to the epilogue.
Mm-hmm.
And this epilogue basically tries to mirror the prologue. Which
I agree with if you're going to have a fantasy book like this, kind of.
Well, yeah.
I don't think they should have been prologues and epilogues. I think they should have just a different title to them because I still don't feel that they add to the story.
They shouldn't be there. Yeah, they shouldn't.
Yeah, like...
I mean, it definitely has some creative thought to it, but it's just not... And there's a theory that I used to take a lot of stock in, not so much anymore. I might have told you about this before. It's called ring theory with Harry Potter.
Oh, yeah, you spoke to me about it, yeah.
Yeah, we're
not on here, though.
Okay, yeah. Where everything reflects, like chapter 1 and or Philosopher's Stone reflects, I think, chapter 17 to reflect 16, and then you have a middle chapter. I
don't know if that's real in the Harry Potter books, because that is a lot more planning than I think. I have a book on the ring theory. Really? It actually does everything. Or is someone stretching to make it work?
Sometimes it's stretching, but honestly, I mean, I've read that book. I used to take a lot of stock in ring theory. Now I don't, because I don't, for all the brilliance that J.K. Rowling put into those books, I don't think because she had a time limit, especially, I just don't think that it...
I agree. That's a lot of brain power. I'm not saying that she doesn't... Ooh, excuse me. I hiccuped. I'm not saying that she doesn't have that brain power, but like you said, the time constraints.
Well, the book, it's actually interesting. It tries to defend that idea about like she being so smart. She's one of... I forget what she is, but she's like the third in the world. Like, she has the top score of Minesweeper in the world. Like, she's third in that. You know Minesweeper? Yeah.
What does that have to do with anything?
Meaning it's a very hard game. Like, Minesweeper's with the bombs.
Yeah, I love Minesweeper. I played it all the time as a kid.
Are you good at it?
I'm pretty decent.
Maybe you're really smart then. Because it says, like, you have to have, like, a lot of, like, brain power, like, to really master Minesweeper.
I wouldn't say I'm a master at it. Yeah. But, like, it's a fun game. I enjoy doing the math with it.
I never played it much, so I don't have that much experience with it. Like, I sometimes would play it, but I didn't when I was younger. I was like, what is this? And I would just move on to solitaire.
I figured it out by myself.
Did you?
Yeah, because when I was, like, young, I was just clicking buttons.
Same.
And I was like, oh, it exploded. And I was clicking buttons and exploded. I was like, what are these numbers? Like, what does it mean? And then I was like, wait, 2 and 3 and 1. The bomb's here.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I just didn't. But so that's the defense it has, that she's so good at this game that really people take.
Yeah, but I still don't think just because you're good at Minesweep.
I think is that what it's called, Minesweep?
Or Minesweeper? It doesn't matter.
I've heard it's a very, very hard game, and that she is one of the top scorers in, I don't know if in her country or in the world, and so that's the defense it gives her. That she's extremely smart and mathematical, and that's why she would have these reflecting, like that she would have planned out these books. But I disagree.
So she's utilizing both sides of her brain.
Yeah.
So the methodical, like analytical side, along with her creative side, and making them mold. But I don't agree with that.
Yeah, I don't necessarily. I used to, but not anymore.
You have people like Tolkien. Yeah. You know, who created his own languages. So he is utilizing both sides of his brains as well. There's still a lot of faults in his books.
I agree. Yeah.
You know, and no one's, like, claiming this, like... I think J.K. is put on a bigger pedestal.
Yes.
Like, she's a brilliant author, don't get me wrong, and she does a lot of great work. And I don't want to take that away from her, But applying these theories to someone who doesn't, she might have naturally done it.
Right, exactly.
I don't think it might have. I don't think it was planned.
Well, like we were just talking about, because I'm writing a Belle and Death fanfic.
Yeah.
And I was telling you how it's 13 chapters and how it just kind of happened.
Yeah.
A lot of times in your writing, I don't know if you've experienced this too, but sometimes I will just kind of do things, and all of a sudden things will fall into place. Yeah. And I didn't intend for it. And a lot of authors will say that.
Yeah. When you said 13 chapters, somebody on a writing group I'm in, asked how we name our characters. And so I sat there and I was like, well, how do I name my characters? And I realized that my characters, like my main characters, have multiple sayings to their one name. So my protagonist in the one book I'm writing, her name is Eleanor. You have Eleanor, Ellie. Like, you could say it different ways, and depending on who she's with, they use that name. Yeah. And I realized I've done that with a bunch of my characters. And the protagonist's love interest or, like, close family member has a similar name to the antagonist. So there's a parallel there. Like Jason and Jackson, so there's... Right. And that's how I name them. And I've noticed that pattern. It was not intentional.
Right. That's
so if somebody were to point that out, like, oh, well, that's weird. It's so she might have done the ring theory without intending to.
Right. I agree. Yeah. And it's definitely there. Like, I would highly recommend, I forget what the book's called, but just look up John Granger. He's called the the Potter Professor. Shoot, I forget what he's called. Hogwarts Professor. And he's very renowned in the Potter community. But ring theory, I used to really buy into it. Yeah. That was 5 years ago. Okay. Maybe 4. And my opinion has drastically changed on it. So the more I read Harry Potter, at least.
Well, again, we're talking about coincidences. Yeah. But, again, with Harry Potter and listening to Witch Please. Yeah. They point out how Hagrid is the epitome of what a man should be. They're talking about the tropes of femininity in a male character being evil. So, like Malfoy and Lucius, they have feminine qualities, the long blonde hair, manicured well, and, like, everything like that.
Has peacocks.
Peacocks, exactly. So... it's a feminine quality, but it's only attributed to evil people. Right. But then you have Hagrid, who's this big, burly man, but he has a pink umbrella. He bakes a lot poorly, but he bakes... What?
Calls himself Mummy. Sorry,
calls himself Mummy. Yeah, no, all this type of stuff. And he's, like, the epitome of what a man should be. He cries and, like, he watches over the kids and stuff like that. So... I never would have thought of that type of stuff for character development. And I think it's just, a lot of it stuff is just coincidental. Yeah, I agree. Ooh, I just pulled on my headphones.
I thought they were going to come off at first. Yeah, but no, I agree with you. A lot of it's coincidental. And I think it's always really fun to read into text and stuff. And I love doing that. But I think, but that's what literary theory is, and I was an English major, so I enjoy that. And I know why some people have a hard time with that, because sometimes I think when literary theory, it's important to know, I know we're going on a tangent now, but like that when you're reading a book, it's important that when you discuss literary theory to use the text. So when I say use the text, what you just said, the pink umbrella, him crying, showing very feminine characteristics. That is in the text, like you're not making that up. Versus a book like this where I know a lot of times in our discussions when we would, banter back and forth and one of us would say, well, I think it's for this reason, or like you would say something and I would say something, and it's kind of like, I think that there's only so far we can take it. That is being bad literary criticism. Like that's just overstretching things.
I never claimed that I was going to be good at it.
No, I agree. Like I'm just saying like me too. But I mean, I'm just saying that like, there's like, and we can do this obviously for the future books we read, but like, just something of note. Yeah. That there are like sometimes with books, you just want to see certain things.
Yeah. Like the relationship between Belle and the Countess.
Hey, you know what? I'm not going to defend it, but I love it. I'm so glad you saw that because it's amazing, and fanfic coming soon. All right, people? Like, it's a thing. It's happening. I'm so happy.
We'll keep you informed.
We indeed will, even when we're done this book. So, sorry for that tangent.
What do you got to say about the epilogue?
I just wrote, ew, trying to echo the same combo from the first chapter, or the prologue.
The same convo?
Meaning, because...
Oh, you can't rush love. You can't hurry love.
Yeah.
And she said you can't rush death.
You can't... What's that song?
Can't...
We Can't Hurry Love by Phil Collins.
I don't know how it goes.
I'm in love, love. Hold on. My mama said you can't hurry love. No, you just have to wait. She said love won't come easy, but it's all can get to you. Okay, sorry. How much more can I take? I really like that song. So,
well, you have at it.
Thank you. So what I wrote down for this also was that there's like literally no consequences to what happened between death and love.
Yeah.
Like, who's to say that death won't try again?
Mm-hmm.
Why are these people friends? Death and love. Why do they hang out?
Because they're sisters.
Okay.
Why are they friends?
About that.
Who?
You're looking at me and you're like, because they're sisters, Danielle. Duh. Sorry, I
scared
forgot.
myself with my laugh at that time.
That's actually really funny. That you scared me. It's like, whoa.
Because I'm hearing it again through the headphones. Oh,
that's
dear.
funny. Yeah, okay, so sorry. That was my bad. Yes, they're sisters. Even still, like, why are, like, I would think it would be much more interesting if these sisters were, like, not like this. Whatever. I just don't like it. I don't even know why I'm criticizing it. I just don't like it.
It's just not fun.
What do you think?
We were talking before, like, their bet's not off.
Right, yeah.
So, because Belle's still alive. Love is like, do you have my 10,000 gold pieces? And Death had said, no, there's still time. Yes, time for them to fall in love. Something about being a fool.
They asked me if I had the gold pieces, and I said, no.
Oh, here it is. Don't be so certain, the story's not over. Much can still go wrong, said Death. And if the human heart is involved, much will. And that's a good line.
Yeah.
The hearts are dumb a lot of the time.
Very dumb.
I'm hopeful, said Love. I imagine Love being Luna.
I was just about to say that.
Because I said I'm hopeful like that.
Yes, just the way you said it, like, you just got me there. Got me.
Oh, Luna.
Luna's a very good example, and her last name's Lovegood. So
there you go. Perfect.
Read Harry Potter.
I'm hopeful, said Love. Fools always are. It's your move. And then they play forevermore. From long, long ago to forevermore. Love and Death played on. Playing here forever. Are you making up a song?
No, it's actually from the new Beauty and the Beast. It's the Evermore song. Where he goes, waiting here forevermore, but I can't sing it that way, so waiting here forever. I'm just not going to sing it all. But yeah.
So that is the end of the book. The official end.
Yeah. That's...
I guess you could clap.
I'm clapping. No, I'm not clapping for the book. I'm clapping that we're done, okay? Yeah.
Bigger clap. I don't want to clap into the microphone.
So, Brittany, now that we're done reading Lost in a Book, should we announce what book we're reading next?
We didn't do our Spotify plug.
Oh, you mean Audible?
Oh, yeah, Audible.
Let's
do it now.
Yeah, we'll do it now.
Because guess what?
What?
You can probably find the next book on Audible. Let's look it up.
Yes.
Go ahead.
I have no doubt.
Talk about the poll.
All right. So, we had a poll going, listeners. You might have seen it a few weeks ago. You all voted. Well, I hope you all voted. We got over 50 votes, which is very exciting. Thank you so much for voting.
More than anticipated.
Yes, much more than anticipated. We were very pleased with the results. And it was very close. But our next book that we will be reading, drumroll, is Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. Woo! Yes, this is... I'm
excited, but I also don't want to read it.
No, I'm with you. I mean, I have read it already, and yeah, I won't say my thoughts right now. We'll get to it. But yeah, I'm excited to get to this. And we want to remind all of you listeners that this episode is sponsored by Audible.
Ooh, we can't get Harry Potter and the Cursed Child on Audible. But you could get a bunch of other stuff off of Audible.
You can, like the Harry Potter books themselves.
Exactly, and they are phenomenally done. I love it. Are you making sure? Are you looking it up? Oh,
well,
no.
I can look it up real quick, actually, because I don't know why it wouldn't, because I'm pretty sure it's on there.
It has a bunch of the news articles.
Let me see.
Biggest twists and turns in Harry Potter and the Cursed Child.
God, gross. Here, hang on. I'm going to put this on the floor again, because I got a big wet spot on there. I'm cutting that out. All right. Sorry, I just said that really loud. And the child curse. No, the cursed child.
The child curse. Ooh, can you imagine?
Yeah.
Like, it's a curse that turns everyone into children.
Oh. Brittany. Okay, it might not be on Audible.
Yeah. So go to your local library or just buy it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's an unauthorized version, but it's not on Audible. Okay. Or no, wait. Maybe it is. No, it's not. Okay. I don't think it is. Okay.
So the next book we're reading is Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. Woohoo!
Yes, we're very excited about that. To be reading our next book on the podcast, which is actually a play, but you can buy it. Mm-hmm. So be sure to get that at your local library or
Amazon or
Barnes and Noble.
I got mine at Target.
Or you already bought one?
Yeah, I got mine at Target.
Oh,
I just never read it.
Right, gotcha. Well, you know.
Okay, I'm gonna be perfectly honest. I read probably a quarter of the way through, and then I threw it. I did not like where it was going, so this is gonna be painful.
It will be painful, especially because, as you know, listeners, we are big Potter fans here. Mm-hmm. Very big Potter fans. So
I inked it on my back.
You did. That's
the
right.
hollows.
Oh yeah. See, she's got ink. I've just read them 7 times.
Yeah, I don't read them 7
ink.
times.
So she's got ink to prove it.
Yeah, but I also am not dedicated that much. Does that make sense? I'm dedicated to the story of the 3 brothers of the Hollows.
But still, that's very essential to the last book. The last book is just my heart.
But anyways, so yes. Cursed Child. If you want to familiarize yourself with the Harry Potter series, we recommend you doing it on Audible.
Yes, because today's podcast is brought to you by Audible.com. Mm-hmm. You can get a free audiobook download and a 30-day free trial at audibletrial.com/BaBaT. Audible has over 180,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, MP3 player. You can even listen on your computer. It's pretty versatile.
Yeah,
even I have an iPod from 2008, and Audible will. The app,
does it really?
Yeah, and no app goes on my iPod because it's too old.
Yeah,
it can't do it. But Audible does. So if you have an old iPod Touch, there you go. And so we're going to recommend to you the Harry Potter series.
Yes.
I think that's fair. Just, to get excited to read Cursed Child, which will ruin all your hopes and dreams. So,
yes. And a lot of stuff we're going to be talking about in the Cursed Child is going to be in relation to the 7 original.
Yes.
Because it is a direct link to it. It is not it's a made-up expansion of the universe, but it's supposed to reflect it exactly.
Yeah, and it J.K. Rowling, I don't personally stand behind this, but J.K. Rowling marked it as canon, meaning that it's the 8th Harry Potter book. Like it or not, J.K. Rowling's apparently the queen, whatever. So
I think the queen is the queen.
So true. Like, have you ever watched The Crown?
No, I haven't.
She's like, bitch, I'm famous. Just kidding. It's kind of slow. Anyway.
Is it about?
It's about Queen Elizabeth.
Oh, nice.
It's awesome.
I like Queen Elizabeth. She's funny.
I do too. She's awesome. I love her. So anyway, So to download your free audiobook today, go to audibletrial.com/BaBaT. Again, that's audibletrial.com/BaBaT for your free audiobook.
And 30-day trial.
Yes, indeed. And all right, so we'll be... Oh, I didn't even write it. My bad. Actually, just ignore what I just said.
Okay.
I meant it to be a surprise, but I told you beforehand, so just ignore me. All right, so... ending notes. So next episode, we're going to be discussing Lost in a Book as a whole. So say that's just an episode. I mean, if you've listened to all our episodes about this book, it's just a tie-up. But it's also, say that somebody's like, I don't want to listen to all these chapters. Well, there you go. You got a whole episode where we talk about the book as a whole.
Then we'll finally rate it.
Yes. Come on now. Special thanks to Katie Hartung for our artwork and Gabe Miller for our intro music.
Woohoo!
Woohoo! We love them both. And we're on social media. Brittany,
yes.
What social media are we on?
We are on Twitter. We have 2 Facebook. We have a page and a group. We are on Instagram, Goodreads. We just started our Tumblr.
Yes.
We have email and all that type of good stuff, which you can find on our website, which is BaBaT pod. Oh, is it podcast? BaBaT podcast.com. Sometimes it's already saved on my phone, so I just put BaBa and it goes right to it.
Yeah.
So that should be on all of our phones.
Yes, indeed.
Visit us. You can also leave us a voicemail on our or on our Facebook, on our website. Yes. Get in contact with us there. We are all linked together, so
yes,
it's pretty easy.
Very easy.
Again, you can listen to us on all the shit. iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, the website again.
And all the pod-catching devices. And
all different platforms,
yeah, definitely. And that wraps up this episode.
First season done!
Woohoo! Well, not completely. One more episode.
Oh, damn it.
I know. It's rough, Brittany. Don't worry. It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. We're almost there.
Oh, by the way, this is my 2 weeks. I'm not doing this anymore.
No!
You looked so sad for a second.
I was like, you're 2 weeks. What? No. Be so sad. All right.
Catch us on the flip side.
Peace.